214 Gaming Podcast is for mature audiences only. Opinions expressed are our own and do not represent any Department of Defense or U.S. government entities as a whole. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Viewer and listener discretion is advised.
You know, every time I see that ending and I see us at the baseball game, I just keep on missing baseball more and more.
It's coming back, dude. It's coming back. Don't worry.
February 26th, baby.
It's coming
Ladies
back.
and gentlemen, welcome back to church. We're here today with Jason Gassis.
Hey, welcome, Jason. Welcome. We appreciate you
Thank
being
you, guys.
here. We appreciate you being here. Thank you very much for coming and hanging out with us, dude, on a beautiful Sunday morning, right?
Oh yeah.
Where is Sunday morning for you right now?
Currently we're in South Louisiana, so.
Okay. Are there any towns of note in your vicinity? Like, or how far away are you from Lafayette?
We're about 5 miles. We're about 5 miles outside of Lafayette.
How far?
About 5 miles outside of Lafayette.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, between like New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and like Lafayette. Like, I don't know too many other Louisiana towns. You know what I mean? Like, those are kind of some of the more main ones, I guess. Good morning, Ronnie J, my man. Good morning, Drill Sergeant. Good morning, Drill Sergeant. Fuck yeah, dude. Oh, Ronnie. So tell me. So you are a veteran. That is correct. Yes.
Yes.
And can you tell us just a little bit about your service or your time in service, and maybe a little bit about what you did and what you thought of it, I guess, maybe while you served.
So shortly after high school, I joined the Air Force and ended up getting hurt. Was medically discharged. Was out only a year.
What did you do?
Oh, I was weapon systems in the Air Force.
I'm sorry, I apologize. Say that one more time.
I was weapon systems in the Air Force.
Did you enjoy it?
It was all right.
Okay. And
It was kind of boring. It was more paperwork for me than anything.
Oh, okay. So when you said you were medically discharged from the Air Force?
Yeah, I was medically discharged.
Okay.
Texas heat had asthma.
Jesus.
The asthma in that area. So they put me out because you can't have Air Force, or you can't have asthma in the Air Force.
I got all. Okay.
Yeah.
So and then you ended up going back into the service. Is that correct?
I did. I went back Army. And
holy shit. So you got medically discharged in the Air Force, and the Army's like, fuck it, bro. Come on in, right?
Yeah, well, it took me like 6 months of tests. So I was out about a year before I went back into service because they had to do all their tests.
Okay. And then I'm assuming like made it through your training. What was your MOS in the Army?
Army, I was a cook.
Okay.
First duty station was Fort Polk, Louisiana. Absolutely hated it. And then went to Korea, Bragg. At Bragg, I got the opportunity to work behind the wire.
Cool.
On
Good
the
for you.
compound.
How was that? Tell us about that. Can you tell us what you were allowed to share.
What I can say is
I'm sorry. For those who are not familiar, on Fort Bragg, the term behind the wire means he worked with the special people who do special things, right? And so that's why I'm asking him about his experience here. So I apologize for interrupting. Go ahead, brother.
Oh, you're good, man. It was a great experience. It's one of those things where your metal is absolutely tested. If you can't do it by yourself, you probably cannot do it.
Right.
But those guys were the reason I actually got promoted to E5. Like they pushed for me to get promoted.
Good shit.
After that, went to Alaska and was the food service NCO IC for the Black Rapids training site, which is the Northern Warfare Training School up there.
Good for you. Good for you. So you got it as a Army cook. You fucking made the rounds.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's fucking badass.
I love to hear that. I love
Yeah.
hearing that, especially as a 92 golf myself, hearing the other opportunities, because you see, we don't get to do a lot, but we do have the opportunity.
Well, you guys have the opportunity to go pretty much anywhere in the fucking world that the Army is, which is 1.5 billion different places. As long as you show some, I guess, resolve or stay in long enough, you know what I mean? Like some of those, if you keep trying to be good at your job at being a fucking Army cook, you can. Some of those better positions will start falling in your lap. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Most people don't understand that cooks probably have the most opportunities in the Army. One of those being the C8 program, which I wasn't able to join, but it actually puts you.
What does that program do?
You're pretty much a private chef for congressmen or even the president. Yeah, I have a good friend of mine. He was actually the private chef to Michelle Obama.
Awesome.
So
I have a question about that too. He was short, wasn't he?
Good morning, Dylan Mason.
Shorter than me, yeah.
yeah. Because I remember, like, because I'm 5'9", and I remember, like, during the training, they said that that's the CA program is probably one of the best opportunities that you can get. You get a good schedule, you get a full stomach, and you pretty much get you get to pretty much live your life in the military, but working for the top heads. And I remember them saying that to work on Air Force One as a cook, you have to be a specific height. Like you have to be like 5'5" or something like that, or maybe like around that height.
Right.
It's probably a range, but it's probably within like you have to be within 2 or 3 inches of that range.
Right.
There are rules like that, but they're in place for a reason. You know what I mean? Same with the like the Tomb Sentinels, the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier guards, like it's very similar with that. Like there's just specific requirements for sure. How long were you in the Army, Jason?
I did 8 years in the Army.
8 years, fuck. So you made your IR time like
right
by the skin of your teeth, right? But
oh yeah, they put me out medically, and I was like, yeah, I've done my time. Either way, I'm done.
Good for you, man. Good for you. And so and you live in your RV, is that correct?
Right. We live in an RV. We funny story about the RV is last year. It was getting close. I mean, we were about 6 months away from being done with our lease for our apartment.
Okay.
Now I look at my wife and I'm like, how does like living in an RV sound? I can't work and we get paid enough that we can just travel the country and see stuff. She said, yeah, we've had first RV we looked at fell underneath us. It was sold out from underneath us. And then the second RV that we looked at, the one that we're in, it was a 1989. It didn't look good on the inside, but it was one of those where we saw potential. So $9,800 for the RV, and honestly about 10 grand worth of materials put into it. And our RV is, making headlines not only with, you guys and some people in the group, but other RV sites. People are coming to us and asking us, well, how do we do this, and this?
Badass. That's fucking badass. And I'm assuming you're able to live on a little bit more of a constructive budget, let's say.
Oh yeah.
Just by virtue of living in the RV itself.
Right.
So is it? I'm assuming, or I should say, I have to assume it's just you and your wife, right?
Well, it's me, my wife, and my 2 younger stepsons.
Okay.
Nice.
How young are they?
Jesus Christ. 10 and 8.
Are they? What is their elementary education like then? As you guys like move from place to place.
We kind of got screwed over when we moved into the RV by a online school.
Okay.
And unfortunately, we're pretty much stationary right now where we are until school's over because we have them in the same public school that my nephew's in.
that was like the first. I've got 2 kids very close in age to yours, and like that was the first. I was like, do they have kids? Because if they have kids, like what's school like? So what are you going? So what's is the idea that you're going to do online, and start traveling the country and do education for them online? Is that?
Well, we're looking at homeschooling, because honestly, I hate the way that the American public school system works.
Okay.
The kids aren't taught what they need to know, and what they don't need to know is pushed even more. So,
okay.
I used to be a substitute teacher, so I'm gonna kind of take that in my own hands and make sure that the kids are taken care of with what they need to know.
Okay. So it's more of a as far as education goes, more of a common sense approach to it versus like memorizing the answers to a test.
Right.
Right. The Socratic method, so to speak. Right.
Yeah.
Got you.
The old school way.
That's believe it or not, my last duty assignment in the Army, I just ETS last year. My last duty assignment, I was an instructor at the NCO Academy. Mm-hmm. But they have moved their model of teaching at the NCO Academy, and all the NCO academies across the board, I believe now, they have shifted to the Socratic method of teaching, where you're not necessarily teaching as much as you are drawing knowledge from the class and filling in the remainder of the cup when they don't know, basically. Right. If that makes sense. So I don't know. I think there's definitely something to that. I've been looking at going back to college now that I'm out of the Army, and I would like to be like a high school fucking English teacher. Like I wouldn't mind doing that for the rest of my life, right?
Right.
But like you said, like the constrictiveness that they put on some of the teachers in this country, and basically like there's no room to wiggle. There's no anything. It's just you're basically teaching the curriculum, and the curriculum is oftentimes like as you way more eloquently than I would ever put is bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
The curriculum is bullshit. They're being taught stuff they don't need to know, and sorry, I'm ranting. So you live in a van down by the river now. And,
oh yeah.
And you got to wait till school's out. So where's the first place you guys are going to? Where's the first place you guys are going to try to head towards once the a lot of movement officially begins?
So I promised my wife the first place we would end up going is Carlsbad,
New Mexico.
Yes,
I've been there. It's fucking that's a very cool place to go, man. Why Carlsbad? I have to ask, why Carlsbad?
She wants to go. It's something that's kind of close to her because of her upbringing with her grandparents. So
awesome.
I'm like, yeah, let's go see it, and then we'll just spend a few months in that area because I want to do some mountain climbing.
Badass. That is fucking badass.
One thing I didn't mention about that is I'm one of the few cooks that was Arctic and mountain certified.
Oh,
so
shit.
My man, I don't even have that shit, dude. Like my man, like good for you, dude. So like you weren't just a cook, you were a badass cook.
I was one that I saw it, I went for it. Only thing I didn't do was airborne, and kind of disappointed me on that one.
I missed airborne. I think there are a few things in the Army I wish I could have gotten around to doing, but I got stalled out. Like where you were in 2 services, like I had 2 MOSs in the Army, and it kind of it precluded me from doing a couple things that I would have probably done if I had done like this or that instead. Earlier in my career. But it's one of those is what it is things. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have any regret. Of the things I didn't do. I do wish that I had done a couple of things that I didn't get the chance to do. There's definitely airborne is on the list, but it's a lot lower. For me, it was. I wish I could have gone to Ranger School. I wanted to go to Ranger School for a long time. It just the timelines never worked out, or I was fucking deployed. Whatever. Like it was just one of those. I never made it to Ranger School. You know what I mean? Like I would have liked to have at least tried. You know what I mean?
That's how it was for me too. Because for something, all cooks want to go airborne. I've noticed that it's a big thing.
Airborne,
a lot of 92 Gulfs want to go airborne. And I was in Fort Benning, and I lived like, if you go to my backyard, you could see the airborne towers.
Jump towers, yeah.
Yeah, I lived right next to Jump Towers. And it's like it's a big thing, you know. A lot of cooks want to be airborne, and it's not a bad thing. I wanted to go myself, and I had a great NCO who set me up, and then, you know, bad foot came, a surgery came right after that, and you know that was the end of that. Now, as a cook, and it's so crazy that this is so surprising because you had the cook whites, right?
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
okay, so what was your technique to keep them fresh?
Oh, good question.
I washed all of mine. So I was doing everything I could to keep them white. Even some kind of it had some kind of old lady on the front of the bottle, and it was
I know
blue,
what you're talking about.
but it whitened everything. But with us, most of the units I was in, it wasn't about how white they are; it was about the creases.
Yeah.
And we would show up to work, and I was one of the ones I wasn't going to be outdone. I had an NCO that would crease pictures into his cook whites. Well, I showed up one day with the Adidas logo, and I got the day off. So, you know, I kept that going my entire career, where I would do something into the cook whites as far as like a logo or something. And I did that as motivation for myself to keep me going, because I'm ADD as hell. But then it was also for, you know, other soldiers to see, oh, well, this dude's doing this and he's getting time off. Maybe we should do it. It
was very motivational. Yeah.
It upped the standard.
And that's the best thing, because a lot of people look down as cooks because they think that we don't do anything, you know. Sometimes we miss PT on Thursdays, you know. It happens.
A lot of I think the vast majority of the bitching
Good morning,
about cooks,
Anthony. Good morning, Dylan.
The vast majority of shit talking on the cooks in the Army, you know, it goes down to the lowest. It's at the lowest level.
Well, the thing is with with cooks and shit talking, every MOS would shit talk a cook in garrison, but as soon as you were in the field, your cook was your best friend.
That's exactly right, and especially and coming from the infantryman's perspective, like I used to tell my fucking soldiers, like, I don't care fucking how much or little we get put on our plate for, you know, hot chow. We're getting, like, the fact that we're getting hot chow, like, fucking say thank you to every single fucking cook out there. Don't ever shit on your fucking cooks.
Yeah. No.
And, yeah.
So what year did you get out?
I got out in 16.
Oh, the same year I did, actually. Interesting. So you used the containerized kitchen then, the CK.
Yeah, we had
the big old trailer one that you had to.
That was my favorite. That was my baby. I was NCOIC of my unit in Alaska, pretty much because my NCO had checked out at that point. And I was actually training the next generation that was coming in on how to use stuff, which I loved. That was me. I loved to make sure my knowledge was passed on. But the CK does not work well when going down a hill during a blizzard in Alaska.
No shit. You don't
say that story.
What's fucked up is my driver. He was like, "No, I'm not driving in the blizzard. Like, we're up a mountain. I want to go home, dude." I didn't have a Kevlar. I didn't have my license technically in Alaska.
Oh boy.
My military license, because my units had fucked up. So, doing the military thing, I said, "Fuck it. Get out of the way. I'll drive. I don't think anyone's going to pull us over to ask where my military license is. Let's go."
Right.
But yeah, the CK, that was my thing. I love that thing.
It's a beautiful piece of machinery, right?
Oh yeah, and in the winter, that thing will keep you warm.
Good morning.
Yeah, one thing that was what I love. Well, we had an incident went out because, you know, as a cook, you know, in the field, you're either going to have the worst time of your life or the best time of your life. And probably one of the more interesting things about the field as a cook is some of the juices that you make. And we actually had an incident where I had an incident where the powder, the grape juice powder, it gave me an allergic reaction, and my first sergeant called me a Klingon.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that was one incident, and then we actually had another incident where another unit, another cook unit, actually Ranger cooks, where they fell asleep with their ovens on inside the CK overnight. and which led to you know how it is, the mass punishment. It went around, and we all had to sleep outside in the dark inside of our tents. Which, you know, when you got the CK, you know, you're living in luxury. But yeah, man, very very beautiful thing. So now back, you know, back to the RV. So I'm assuming that with your family, you have a big RV.
So we have a 37-foot RV,
Nice.
but it's not the kind of RV that most people think when they think, you know, Class A. Because
Yeah.
most people, when they're thinking Class A, they're thinking the slides that come out the side, so it gives you more space.
Right.
Ours is technically listed under as a bus. We have no slides. You know, we have about 7 feet, 8 feet from wall to wall throughout the entire thing, and it's about 34 feet actual livable area.
Okay.
That's fucking great.
So, you know, there's 4 of us in here, and it gets cramped at times, but, you know, it's been the best thing on my mental health.
It's funny. It's funny, is it not? The things that we find cathartic after our experiences, you know. I've, you know, even, you know, during my transition last year, getting out, and then now that I've officially ETS'd, I have found multiple things that I do not know why it soothes my soul, but like I'll be in the middle of doing something, and I'm like, damn, like this is just kind of cathartic. You know what I mean? Like it just feels good, you know, doing this thing, whatever that thing is. You know what I mean?
Oh, God, beanie weenies in the can, the little small can, remind me of the damn Jimmy Dean's.
That used to be fucking poke bait that I would take to the field. I used to take that shit to the field, dude, like this poke bait, dude. Like,
yep.
Yes, dude. Yes, absolutely. That's, dude, my man. Man after my own heart right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir. And when we come back right after this quick break, we're gonna dig more, and we learned recently that the amplifier, the PV amplifier that was in his setup is actually his PC. So when we come back after this, we're gonna dig deep into that plus more. Remember, guys, you can't eat ass without Rogue Energy. Use code DD214 today for 10% off. And I just got to ask a quick question before we ask about your setup now. So with the space, I can imagine it gets a little difficult sometimes to, you know, make a little love.
How is it? Yeah, like how is it so quiet right now?
The kids are in the back.
Are you? Do you have like a room partitioned? Is that kind of like?
No, it's completely open. The door's completely open, or it doesn't even have a door. So
interesting. But
it's
so you just have 2 well-behaved children.
Sure, okay. They're just distracted right now. They have their switches.
Right.
They're playing Fortnite or whatever, so they're just distracted right now.
Yeah, that was a dad joke. You got a 10 and an 8-year-old. I got a 10 and a 7-year-old. So
yeah, I got 9. I got the 9, 7, and 6. So
John's totally fucked. Like,
yeah, they keep on. I'm telling you,
But yeah, seriously, how do you? John, I think John asked a very pertinent question. How do you and the old lady get down to business when it's time to do that?
So the good news is even though the jacks are down, the stabilizer jacks are down, this thing will still rock when you're walking through. So we just say it's the wind.
Say that one more time.
We just call it the wind.
The wind.
Well, there you go. Too easy, and that's good.
So when in a couple, do you have boys?
Yeah.
So in a couple of years, there's going to be a lot of wind blowing through there, like every night. God, and probably like 3 times a day, right? Like, like when they discover you know.
All right. So funny thing about that is I do have a 13-year-old stepson, that her oldest son, and of course he had the talk from his dad, but we told him that if he ever has that urge, just let us know that he's got to go to the shower house.
Fair. I mean, you know what? I don't disagree with that approach, because I think taking that more honest approach with sexuality and raising them in a healthy environment where they understand it's nothing to be ashamed of, and their body is nothing to be ashamed of, and the biological urges that occur because we are hardwired to fuck from age like 12 to 14ish all the way until in like well into our like fucking 60s.
We talked about the
You know
Yule
what I mean?
not too long ago.
Like it is, like we are human beings, but at the end of the day, when you get down to brass tacks, we're fucking animals, dude.
Yeah.
And animals like to fuck, and so I'm just throwing it out there. I mean, it's nothing to be ashamed of. That's my whole point.
Oh no, it's
but it's
like
awkward, and it's awkward when you're a fucking teenager. It's so fucking awkward. You guys remember what that shit was like? How fucking lame that shit was. Like how fucking.
Yeah, but remember
I know how much of a fucking loser I was when I was a fucking teenager. Like how big of losers were you guys? You know what I mean? Like we were all fucking like just these awkward ass little fucking shits.
I wore raver pants, so
raging with fucking like testosterone and hormones. You know what I mean? Like holy shit.
Those are positive vibes. So the setup now. So you're on PC, the Nintendo Switch, Xbox. Are you on PlayStation as well?
I'm not. I got to get another PlayStation.
Okay.
But yeah, that's every other system I have. Yeah.
That's really cool, man. So what games are you mainly on, and how do you balance your time in between each one?
So for the most part, it's Fortnite, which I only play when my buddies are playing.
Same with me and Joe.
When I have downtime, it's Minecraft or one of these other first-person games that I can just chill to.
That's awesome. You said you have do you have Game Pass on the Xbox?
I do, yeah.
Have you ever played Myst?
I have, yeah. Well, Myst a long time ago, yeah.
I was gonna say like it's on the Game Pass, and I just played the shit out of it and beat it because like I played the fuck out of it in the '90s, and I had a really good time.
I was all about Myst.
I was gonna say you seem like the kind of guy that might enjoy that game if you've never played it, but you obviously already have. So it was a very popular game. So I apologize. How old are you again?
37.
37. Okay.
Nice.
Does your wife game with you, or does she watch, or does she do her own thing? Like,
so my wife, she does game. Only one game. She plays Mortal Kombat 11.
Awesome.
That's her game, not mine.
Awesome.
But my wife's more or less. She's the one that's like, go play a game. You seem stressed. Okay. I'm not, but okay.
I have to say, we've only been talking for about half an hour, but I honestly have to say, good morning, Mark Anthony. Good to see you, bud.
Gonzo Gone Gaming.
I have to say, it sounds your family. It sounds like a very, very healthy and loving environment. You know what I mean? As far as like, the living in an RV might not be the most traditional thing in the world, but it sounds like your attitude and kind of philosophy towards life, and it sounds like you and your wife are very supportive of each other.
I was a very angry person before she came along. Like, well, shit, a veteran. Most of us are angry as hell anyway. But yeah, my anger got the best of me. My anger got the best of me, and she's leveled me out to the point that I've become pretty much a hippie. It's pretty much been like the water off the back that we were always told by, NCOs growing in our careers, or, fuck it, it doesn't matter. It's become like that. Yeah, like any couple, we have fights, but it's not your normal fights. It's you ate my food, right, or something like that.
Right. That sounds.
Yeah, not like some Revolutionary Road shit, right?
That sounds beautiful, man. That sounds beautiful, and I'm very fortunate to have a very loving and wonderful girlfriend, and I look forward to the day that like we're getting there slowly, but yeah, it's a work in progress. And how long have you and your wife been together?
So we've been together for 4 or 5 years now.
Okay.
But we didn't get married until 2021.
Okay. But it's one of those things where you basically like I get it. Like you to maybe to people outside the box, it seems like you're taking like a huge chance and a huge risk. But when you're inside and you see what's actually going on and you see the foundation of a stable and loving home environment, you know, which is really all we want for I would assume the next generation, and you know, for them to grow up in. You know, you take the chances that you think are going to, you know, perform the best, right? And
Right.
I can see that happening, you know, with your family. That's a cool thing, man. That's fucking badass, and
Yeah.
I applaud you for that. I applaud you for taking those kind of risks, you know, on love instead of fear, right?
Yeah.
So
It's
yeah.
a very powerful thing. I also remember you mentioned that you're very big into retro gaming as well.
Yeah.
So what are some of your favorites that still blow your mind today that you played in the past?
Oh, geez. I was big in the Game Boy. Like my first game system was the Atari 2600. Second was the NES. Third was the Game Boy. And honestly, it's always held that nostalgic special place in my heart. But when you turn around and spend $200 to have the ultimate Game Boy,
right,
it's
Yo,
that's what's up.
It's kind of that killer app. And yeah, it's Pokemon Yellow. That's always going to be that ultimate game for me. It's going to keep drawing me back as far as that goes. But I didn't actually like gaming until Super Mario Brothers 3.
Do you remember that movie with what was it, Fred Savage? Was it called
Wizard.
The Wizard? Yeah. And they had like, it was basically like a preview for fucking Super Mario 3 because it like that was the big reveal at the end. You know?
Yeah.
Do you remember that shit? Like
that movie was actually let my stepsons and my two biological sons, they've seen it.
That's fucking badass, man. Like I showed my kids Princess Bride like last year.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like last year was the first year I got to show them Princess Bride, but they liked it. Like it was cool. It was cool to see them enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Fun fact about that movie: on set, Andre the Giant let out such a huge fart that it stopped the whole set for like a good minute and a half. And also another fun fact, because I'm a Robin Hood slut, the dude who was in Robin Hood Men of Tights, I can't remember his name, but that he was in Princess Brides. He was supposed to be the original Robin Hood before Kevin Costner was. So I'm a fucking Robin Hood nerd. Excuse me. So when I see these things, but so now your setup. So you have everything pretty much together, which I love, because usually when you see some setups, they have the Nintendo Switch in the bedroom, the Xbox in the living room, the PC in the office. So
Right.
And then on top of that, Joe, can you pull it up for me, please? You have multi-screen setups as well that you also mentioned, so that you could game and watch something, or have the other TV being used for the kids.
Right.
So what's first off, to start off, what is the PC?
So the case is the Thermaltake Level 20 VT. It's a showcase case that they designed for guys that want to build these massive, intricate water-cooled systems.
Nice.
Obviously can't do water-cooled because of vibration and everything, but I just like the way it looked. It was square and I thought it was small. Yeah, it's not. It's not small at all. It is a brick.
How far back does it go?
Jesus Christ. That's a good question. It's about twice as deep as it is wide.
Oh.
So I'd say about 2 inches. If you look at the width and you look at a micro ITX board, it's about 2 inches wider than a micro ATX board.
And you're sitting basically where that picture was taken.
Yeah.
Correct? Okay, right. That's like okay, yeah. So okay, that's dude. You have for living in a van down by the river. You have a hell of a fucking setup, my man. Like seriously, like that is some fucking goddamn innovative shit right there. That's a very innovative way and excellent use of space, my man. So
I have to say, it really it's so cool because you have access to everything. You know,
yeah.
because especially now with the Nintendo Switch having the N64 service, now you have access to N64 games, but you still have the PC in case you wanted to emulate them. So you got the best of both worlds. You have the Xbox in case you wanted to play some Bethesda games or something or another. You know, it's dude, it's incredible. It's incredible how you've managed to be able to have all that and to pretty much consequent your time to enjoy yourself. You know.
Well, we were talking about my wife being supportive and everything. The only reason the PC was built was because of my wife, and then I was actually giving my old pre-built to her niece. Well, I couldn't finish up the build until I found a new graphics card. My wife goes on Amazon and finds a Asus Dual 3060, and she's like, "Okay, get this one." $700 above retail, and she's just like, "Get this one. We have the cash for it. Fuck it."
And you got it, and it's there.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes you got to pull the fucking trigger, man.
Yeah,
that's really what
that trigger hurt like hell, though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's what's that old expression like? You know, it sometimes you got to spend money to make money. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like whether that money is literal or figurative. You know, and for something that maybe you need in life. You know what I mean? Like not much different than I see a lot of dudes out there building like their own like little like private home gyms. You know, like a couple of weights at a time. You know, like. Eventually they get the bench, eventually they get a squat rack, like whatever, but what is that? What kind of dividends does that pay when you don't have to travel to and from like an actual gym and you can just do it in your house, So yeah. Hey Joe, I got you, homie, dude. That's only because fucking my ass looks fucking fat, bro. I deadlift like a motherfucker, bitch. All right, I rock. I gotta say,
I am impressed with his work today. He has not found a way to get fired today. I can't believe it.
So far, but like, I mean, so far, dude, my ass is so badass, dude. Like, I got that apple bottom, bro. Like, I got that apple bottom. Like, that's what I got. Okay.
I actually have a friend.
Don't get mad at me because I'm 40 fucking years old and my ass fucking looks better in fucking jeans than you. You're fucking right. Men and women like that ass, dude. All right, so fuck off. All right.
Oh, there goes Daddy Sergeant J again. That. There goes Daddy Sergeant J again. That's his persona when he gets a little trigger happy. Daddy Sergeant.
Let me smash.
Oh, he's just hitting the buttons today.
I love it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so, I mean, dude, I'm highly impressed, man, and I like you even more because you're a brother, man. You're a 92 golf, you know. We were using Kiwi to keep them boots clean, no matter what, man. It was.
Oh yeah.
It was treacherous, you know. So this is cool, man. So what's in the future? Are you going to be getting a bigger RV? Are you going to be doing?
I was going to ask what's after Carlsbad. That's exactly where I was going. Like, what? So you guys, the desert is calling. Okay, so you're going to take a Jim Morrison ride, on the Storm, out to fucking New Mexico. You spend a couple months out there. You've got the schooling for the kids covered. After a few months in New Mexico, where are we going after that? Or what's maybe like the next potential hotspot?
So our literal plan for our travels is we bought a map of the U.S. for the side of the RV that we fill out with the stickers that you see most of these older people with. I say older people because we are pretty much the younger, family that lives in an RV from what we've seen where we are.
Oh, you will be.
It's one of those, we want the kids to have the same opportunities or more opportunities than me or my wife had. Like my wife got to travel. Her grandfather was former U.S. Army back when the Army was something to be feared. Not saying it's not, but that's a different generation. And she got to see all these places. She got to see places I didn't get to see. I got to see places she didn't get to see. So it's all about the kids seeing places neither of us have seen. We want them to have more opportunities than we did. So, yeah, Carlsbad is a definite up first. But after that, we want these kids to be able to look at the side of the RV with that map and be like, oh, we saw all these states. We went all these places.
I have to freaking interject, man, because I'm telling you, man, like that freaking I've done the exact same thing with my daughters, and we've been to places that I've never been because I was at Fort Carson for 7 years, but because of the proximity out west, living in Colorado, we were very close to like multiple. My kids have been to fucking Old Faithful in Yellowstone. We went to fucking Mount Rushmore. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like places I'd never been, but
You went to that guy's grave?
Doc Holliday's grave, Glenwood Springs, Colorado. Yes, I was gonna say, Jason, if you need any ideas or travel routes, I've got travel routes, like actual just go up here, take a left on highway, blah blah blah, and just travel that highway for 50 fucking miles and be amazed, right? Like I fucking love road trips, right? And I love what you're doing, and having those kind of like, it's a lot of it is for the kids, you know what I mean? Like when I got back from my last deployment, I took my daughters to Disneyland over New Year's. Like I planned the whole fucking thing out. Like we stayed in the fucking Disneyland hotel, like because I could, because I was back from a deployment.
Right.
I mean, like why not? I got the money, like fuck it, let's do it for the kids. You know what I mean? Like, and I get it, man. Like that is fucking amazing. And I have
another thing is
go ahead, please.
These kids are big into gaming. Like I love them to death, even though I look at the stats.
What do they play?
Mostly Fortnite. But the 10-year-old, I looked at his stats the other day, and he has 199 solo wins out of 340 games.
Holy how many games?
340 total.
And he's won how many?
199.
What the fuck? So he's good.
He's good. So, another thing I want to show them is taking them to where the studios are that I know of in the US. Showing them where Epic is, showing them where
fuck yeah, bro.
All these places. Taking them to the Dallas Star, which is the esport arena up in Dallas.
Yep.
Dude, letting them see all these things.
That'd be badass.
It was just big in the news a couple days ago too. The Dallas Star just made big news the other day where they were just going to start implementing way more esports competitions in that location. So,
and you're in Louisiana now. You're gonna have to travel through Texas to get to fucking New Mexico anyway. So I mean,
what's funny is we lived in Texas. We lived in Texas before we moved over here to Louisiana. So
interesting.
They got expensive though.
Well, I'll tell you. Well, oh, dude, like, don't get me started on fucking Colorado, dude. Like, holy shit. Like, but
we lived in
feel your pain on that.
We lived in College Station. We lived in Texas A&M's backyard.
Yeah.
So we were paying $850 for a 2-bedroom apartment, and they were about to raise it up to $1,200. So yeah. And now I pay about $600.
Inflation went through the roof this last year, and when I was ETSing, and like it crushed my I fucking. Have you ever seen that scene at the end of fucking Hot Shots? It's Charlie Sheen, where like he's like coming in for a landing, and then it's just like a plane with no wings just fucking like smashes to the ground. Like that's pretty much how I landed in Kansas City when after I ETS'd and me and my kids moved out here. It was like that's basically how we got here. It was just like a fucking crash fucking landing, dude. Because it was like inflation went through the roof, and it was like, okay, like I'll do this now, okay, roger that, and yeah. So So, the thing I love about being mobile too is you can play. Like, if you want to go to Dallas on the way to Carlsbad, New Mexico, you can.
Yeah.
And that's basically like, and so there, you can literally pick spots on a map, like you said, and say like we know the end destination is over here, but in between here and there, let's go find some cool shit, right? Is that basically like the idea?
That's it. See what the U.S. has to offer. That's not on the normal beaten path.
Fuck yeah, dude! Like, I can dig it. Like, I love it. I love it. John, we're at 45 minutes, man, because I've been rambling
Okay.
and not giving our guests. What do we got for news?
Well, actually, when we come back right after this break, we will do the news, which is, I don't know, you want to do the Russians first, or you want to do the acquisition?
Oh man, ooh, I don't know. Flip a coin and you decide. Dealer's choice, dude. Oh, ramble time.
I'm poor. I ain't got coins.
Think I'm rambling already, dude. Like, don't get me started on fucking Russia.
All right, you call it. What's it gonna be?
Heads,
acquisition.
Heads. What do you got? What is it? I can't see it. Tails. All right.
Russia.
Is it going to be right? All right. Roger that.
Yeah, so when we come back right after this, we're going to talk about Russia.
Heads I win, tails you lose.
So, Jay, this is your story, man. So break us down with what's going on this week in Russia.
Well, basically, Russia has made some moves. They've massed troops on the border of Ukraine. That part of it has been going on for the last several weeks, I guess. The latest developments are that if you were with us last week, we very casually mentioned that basically stuff was happening in Ukraine, and Russia was kind of making these moves that they might do something, right? And so U.S. intelligence had it that, they were looking to possibly like do like a false flag operation like within 1 month. Well, that was last week. In the last 7 days, several European nations have basically called Vladimir Putin's bluff, and there are particular weapon systems that the country of Ukraine has been asking for years and years, and nobody really wanted to give them to them over a certain amount. They've gotten some, but not very many as far as like holding off like a Russian tank invasion, right? This last week, several European nations called Vladimir Putin's bluff and basically just threw all of these weapons at Ukraine and said, "Here you go. Like, you can have these weapons now." And basically, these weapons are anti-tank and anti-air weapons. So we're talking about laws, javelins, for my infantry brothers, stuff that like Ukraine would suffer massively in a Russian invasion. Yes, and we all know this is true. But when you're able to, when one infantryman with a fucking javelin can take out a tank by himself undercover, you know what I mean? It gets really, really it doesn't become very cost effective after a certain point. And when casualties and losses start mounting, you lose your public support, and that would be Russia would lose its public support of an invasion of Ukraine. And so now basically the entire European Union is calling Vladimir Putin's bluff and saying, fuck you. So they just gave Ukraine a shitload of weapons to counter a Russian invasion, which again, the Russians would inflict massive, massive losses, and it would be devastating to the country of Ukraine. But now Ukraine can fucking fight back and make it really, really hurt. Make it hurt Russia. And as of this morning, yesterday they put out yesterday or 2 days ago, they put out a notice for the U.S. Embassy in Kiev, Ukraine, for non-essential personnel to leave. As of this morning, they're saying that the U.S. Embassy is trying to get all personnel out by no later than Monday morning.
Bing bang.
So it might be going down. Like Putin is a fucking piece of shit. And fuck you, Vladimir Putin, for fucking up the country of Russia like the way you have, dude. Like, you fucked it up, man. And
so are we going to see a Georgia 2.0?
I don't know, dude. That's the thing is, like, the world has placated Russia for so long that Russia has not been like in a real shooting war in a long time. Like they invaded Afghanistan in the late 70s. They had their Vietnam, like their version of Vietnam and Afghanistan.
Yeah, we all know what happened. What happened after that.
Everything after Afghanistan and the collapse of the Soviet Union has been very isolated, very region-centric conflicts that Russia has been involved in. They have not gotten into an actual shooting war with another country legitimately since they were in Afghanistan, and that was when the fucking Soviet Union still existed. So what they've done since then is they've kind of gobbled up small. I say small amounts of territory. I don't want to offend anybody when I use terms like this. By the way, I understand that Russia absolutely took territory that did not belong to them. And then there's conflicts like Chechnya and stuff like that. That, like, when we talk about global geopolitics here on this show, don't go to Jay and expect me to be the Don Juan of this shit. Okay. I just know what I read, and I'm not always as up to date as I need to be. Point being, Russia has not been like in a real shooting war, and the world has placated them by keeping them out of real shooting wars with other countries for a long time, basically since the collapse of the Soviet Union. If Russia invades Ukraine anytime in the next fucking 48 hours, the whole world is going to be on fucking high alert, because several countries in Europe have said they will fucking support Ukraine. And several of those countries are in a European alliance, but they also happen to be members of NATO. So if NATO gets into a shooting war with fucking Russia in any regard, we're involved.
So here's a question.
Like,
what would
those
Jay do?
Those are the stakes, basically. Those are the stakes right now. The world is daring fucking Vladimir Putin to blink.
Now what would Jay do? If you were the president of the United States, what would Jay do?
Well, this is an extremely precarious situation. You're talking about Russia, and part of the reason that Russia and the entire world has tried to keep Russia out of shooting wars for the last like 3 decades is because they have fucking nuclear weapons, right? Okay. So you're the president of the United States, and we're talking about Russia that has, nuclear weapons and a big red button that can fucking end society as we know it, just like we do. And they're getting ready to start gobbling up territory. They've already started in little increments gobbling up territory in the last fucking decade. Yeah. So as the president, what do you do? I mean, like, the world is like, they've gotten so sick of fucking Putin's shit. The world is daring Putin to blink right now. And Putin's never really blinked up to this point. And so now the world is saying, like, all right, motherfucker, do it. Like, do it. Like,
if you're gonna put your gun, if you're gonna put in someone's face, you better pull the trigger.
Dude, the world's off of fucking Putin's bullshit, man. The world's off of it, man. It's like we're getting ready to break up. It's like when you're in a fucking toxic relationship with that shitty ass fucking like girlfriend or boyfriend. You know what I mean? It's like fucking, nah, man, I'm fucking done. Like,
no, you know what this is like.
Today is the day. I'm leaving. Go get that fucking hoodie that I gave you fucking 6 months ago because I want that shit back, right? Like, that's my fucking hoodie. I'm fucking leaving, dude.
You know who Russia is? Russia is the friend that everyone wants to believe in. Out of all the friends in the United Nations, he's the friend that everyone wants to believe in, but he keeps on doing stupid shit. And they're just like, come on, man. Why you keep on doing this shit for? Stop it.
That's what I'm saying.
You are fake news.
And it's really,
it is always a fucking hoodie.
This is probably the first time in a long time. This is not the first time that the world has called Russia's bluff, or the U.S.'s, or whoever. It doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter what. This is not the first time in history Russia's bluff has been called. But this one, the stakes are excruciatingly high, like super fucking high, like as in nuclear stockpile high, right? So, like, it makes me sad. It makes me sad that I had to ETS last year. Because I would love to put a fucking star above my fucking CIB and be able to say that I fucking fought against Russia. That's all I can say. It makes me sad. I daydreamed. I used to daydream of fighting Russia or China, and I never got the chance to do it. Hey, maybe we can fucking send a few fucking thousand more people to fucking like go fucking like put a hurting on somebody. You know what I mean? Like, why not? Why the fuck not at this point? Like, climate change, all this shit's coming, dude. Like, a lot of shit's about to change in the next decade, and if we don't call fucking dumbasses like fucking Putin out, like now, like nobody's gonna have a fucking chance later anyways. So fucking, we might as well fucking knuckle up and get a little bloody fucking get a little bloody now so we fucking save a lot more blood fucking later because there's some hard times coming. There's some hard times coming either way. Either way. I apologize for going down a fucking very dark road. Let's fucking lighten the fucking mood.
Well, that's why we give you these moments, Jay. That's why we give you these moments. And what's up, Joe?
I don't like being negative, man. I don't like, but that is what's happening in our world.
If you didn't have a piece of negativity in you, I don't think I could trust you, Jay.
It's very heavy, and I understand it's Sunday morning, but see, in this church, we don't fucking bullshit. We'll just give it to you straight, and fucking. Whatever we say on here that's opinion based is definitely opinion based, but when we spit facts, we're spitting facts.
Yep.
So I'm not here to bullshit anybody. It's heavy shit, and I don't like being negative, but it is fucking heavy shit. Like, it's very heavy, and I think fucking Jason's smart because he's fucking mobile right now. I wouldn't mind being in a fucking RV with my fucking family if fucking bombs start fucking falling. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and a big shout out to Joe Squillini. Thank you for coming. Thank you for hanging out, man. Squillini sounds like a pasta that I would eat with a
Joe
fried chicken.
Hey, give me that.
Give me that Squillini. Let me get
give me that Squillini. I want the Squillini dish.
Let me get a 14-incher right there.
I like that. That looks good. It's a spicy meatball. It's a spicy meatball.
All right, so we have probably one of the biggest news probably of the year. And it happened just 18 days after the year started. We're all gamers here. We all play Xbox, and this probably You want to fucking interrupt me like that again, motherfucker? Is that what the fuck you want to do? You're fucking fired, bro. You're fucking fired. In the middle of a fucking sentence while the king is fucking speaking.
So fucking fired, dude. Oh my god, dude. You're so fucking fired, dude. Joe, you suck. You're the worst producer fucking ever, dude.
Shit.
You suck. You fucking suck.
Oh shit! And Dylan Mason says the whole Fortnite squad's watching now. Holy shit!
That's fucking hilarious.
Hey, I gotta say, man. Before we get into his acquisition news, I've been playing Fortnite with Joe, and I don't know what it is, but there's a 90% win rate when I play with Joe. It's quite interesting that there's a 90.
You said it's Fortnite.
On Fortnite, we're out there. We're taking.
All right. I'll fuck. Is it on fucking Xbox?
It's free, my friend. It's free.
Fucking damn it. God fuck. Well, you know what? Nikki got me into PUBG this week, so it's fucking. It's happening.
Joe.
It's happening.
Joe.
It's happening.
What you played? We played what? 2 games and you won. I think you won like what, 5 straight games?
When we first started playing, I think we played like 7 games. We lost 2 of them.
Yeah.
We had the crown for like 5 consecutive games. We were the crown dudes. And then after that, everything changed because the matchmaking started catching up to us. So then we started kind of underperforming here or there. But once you get the hang of like, oh, and we're getting into a little more meta here. So then we started adjusting fire and being a little more tactical with our shit and sticking to our team instead of being like, a duo and another duo off somewhere else. Sometimes it's handy to split up, but it's better to stick with your team too. I don't know. I haven't played a first person shooter since Modern Warfare. And that was
this is third person. This is third person.
You're right. Yeah. I still haven't played a shooter like that since a year and a half ago or more.
Yeah.
Well, let's come back into it. I was like, holy shit. But yeah.
No, but yeah. So let's.
Joe Squini's
he's right though.
They fucked up giving him old school Modern Warfare guys red dots.
He's right. He's absolutely right because I look for that weapon all the time and I get like banger kills. So into the acquisition. So just a short time ago, Microsoft bought ZeniMax, which is Bethesda. You got Doom, Fallout, Starfield. And we were all so excited. I was excited. Jay was excited because he gets to play fucking Doom like he's 9 years old again. I'm sure. I love
fucking going into hell and jerking off on demons' faces, dude. Like, and just be like, I own you, bitch. Like, I ain't fucking scared of you.
There you go. But
that moment when you walk out and that fucking goddamn giant building-sized demon is just like walking, and like the whole time, like the level's been shaking. This is like the very beginning of the game, And the whole level, like the ground shakes every once in a while. And when you walk out and you see what's been shaking the ground, it's like a building-sized demon. I exploded, dude. I was like Randy on fucking South Park. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. Sorry. Go ahead.
You're good. So the week prior to this acquisition, Take-Two bought Zynga, $12 million. But now Microsoft has acquired Activision, Blizzard, and Kyng for $68 billion. $68 billion fucking dollars. And someone prove me wrong, but I believe this is the biggest acquisition in gaming history right now.
It is.
It is.
It absolutely is.
Yeah. So so many questions come from this, but I have some answers for you. They have not said games are coming exclusive. But Microsoft has a working relationship with Sony right now to make sure that Call of Duty still comes to PlayStation. Of course. On top of that, Candy Crush is now owned by Microsoft. StarCraft is now owned by Microsoft. The list goes on. So I'm going to ask you guys, what as gamers, Jay, this is the gamer side.
I want Jason to definitely go first on this because I've already talked like entirely too much this episode. But
does this excite you? Does it depress you?
Go ahead, Jason.
You know what? I've grown up Nintendo and Xbox my whole life. I've had PlayStation here and there for exclusives, but I see this as a win for all 3 companies. I see it as a win for the pockets of Xbox or Microsoft. I see it as a win because Xbox has always had or held hands with Nintendo. But I see it as a win, not so much for PlayStation, but for gamers. Because think about it this way. You look at Call of Duty for the past 4 or 5 years. You look at all these other games that were owned by Activision and Blizzard. There haven't been many changes. Then you look at the past year or two with all the BS that's going on with Activision and Blizzard, all the complaints and the sexual harassment and all that's come out. Somebody had to do it. And Microsoft stood up and said, fuck it, we got the money, let's do it. But I do believe that they're going to pump money into it to revitalize, hopefully, a dying genre that Call of Duty had.
Call of Duty definitely.
And I'm gonna hang on to that note. So when you're done, Jay, I got something to say about the CEO and the sexual harassment case.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Like while you're on the thought, go ahead. I mean,
are you sure? Because I don't want to take away your thought.
No. Spit it out while you got it, man.
So
go ahead.
So CEO, what's his name again? Kostic or Kosidik? He's got like a funny name.
I can't fucking see it there.
Oh, what the fuck? Bobby Kotick. So it's being said that he will be staying with Activision. Now, he is part of the major lawsuit, like he just mentioned, with the sexual harassment that was going on. We covered a couple months ago, too, that there was even a suicide at a holiday party.
Jesus.
Yes, and we spoke about this, and we treaded very carefully with this because it was a very insane story that came out, and there was frat boy mentality going on. My theory on all of this is that, one, they're going to fire Kosick right after Q3. It's been very well known that he does not want to, that they don't want him a part of this team, especially with the fact that Microsoft has a long-standing relationship with their employees as having a good work environment. I have a big theory here that Microsoft came in here to save the fucking day and hopefully bring this new work environment to Activision, Blizzard, and Kyng. And right over here, Joe Squilini says that, I mean, it's funny how right after Sony released God of War on PC, Microsoft makes this play. It's pretty true. Cody, what did I just miss?
Nothing. Cody fucking moved, and Joe notices everything because he's
the fucking cat. So yeah,
dog, yeah.
like Jason mentioned, these things are still a major cloud on Activision right now. So is Microsoft going to be here and save the day, or with Bobby still on the mound, are we still going to have these issues arising? Oh, he's smiling.
I don't know where to start with this shit, man. This is like, I understand why some of these motherfucking corporations like see the need to gobble up other corporations and fucking just, it's the Disneyfication of like everything. I say Disneyfication. That's like Disneyfication.
That makes sense.
And it fucking of everything. And I see why they did this, because gaming, American gaming specifically, especially game producing, is in it's at one of the low water marks right now. Like there's not a lot going on. There's not a lot of super innovative shit happening. Everything in gaming that's happening right now is happening in Asia, in Japan and Korea. And Japan and Korea are having like high water mark years right now in innovation and development. Watching Microsoft gobble up basically what amounts to several more fucking gaming companies, to me, is just like, we're just going to be fucking spoon-fed, our entertainment in yet another arena of life. So it's not just fucking movies and fucking Star Wars and fucking every other fucking thing we grew up with as kids because of Disney. It's also going to be when we fucking pick up a fucking handheld device and just want to fucking escape reality for a couple of hours in a very healthy and productive manner, being video gaming. I call bullshit, and I understand why they do it, but the mighty dollar can suck my fucking dick, dude. Like, I don't need, like, I know, let me tell you guys what I don't know. I don't know of a single fucking person, at least in my lifetime yet, that I've known that fucking took anything with them when they died. So if money is that fucking important to some people in this world, I guess fucking go for it. But don't be surprised when fucking people get pissed off and tell you, like the world told fucking Vladimir Putin fucking this week, to blink. Eventually the gaming community is gonna fucking tell the developers, the producers, these fucking multinational corporate cocksucking conglomerates, suckers of Satan's cock. Fucking, we're done with your bullshit. Like, we're not buying your fucking product anymore. I'm not saying it's going to happen in the next few years. Like, I'm not making that claim.
I bet Satan's cock tastes like shit.
I'm saying eventually it's going to happen. And the gaming community is going to tell American gaming companies to blink.
Well, after the acquisition was revealed, some positive news has come out of it. There's been talk of Guitar Hero coming back, which I'm not going to lie to you. I'm pretty excited about that. And there was even talk. It seems like that these conversations were not meant to come out until after the acquisition. And one of the biggest talks about this is Call of Duty. We do have a Call of Duty coming out this year. We do know that. But the conversation that is happening right now with the higher ups is that they're looking to make sure that Call of Duty is not a year-to-year game anymore.
I saw that, but I want to rewind just a little bit because I want to we fuck Call of Duty. We talk about it entirely too much anyways. Like, let's rewind. With all the fucking technology and the gaming devices that we have right now, can you imagine playing Guitar Hero or fucking
well, look at Guitar Smith
or fucking Rock Band with like your homies? They even have the one where you can like sing the karaoke and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Japan has that on the Switch.
Yeah.
Like, son of a fucking bitch. See, Japan has that, huh? Did you say
the Switch being non-region? I have a Japanese account, and I'm going through. I'm like, what the fuck? They have a karaoke.
That's what I'm
fucking. App. They have this. They have that.
See, that's $1 million fucking idea. American companies are not like dicking down hardcore. This is why
they're afraid it won't sell.
Exactly my point. Fuck them. Fuck what they think. Nobody's taking chances anymore. That's why we're getting 15 different flavors of fucking Star Wars soda from fucking Disney that I'm not going to watch anymore. That's why I stopped watching. I don't fucking watch. I haven't watched fucking well over fucking 2/3 or possibly 3/4 of the MCU fucking Marvel movies. Because I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
It's like, why do we need a video game to have us play songs with our homies when we could just start a fucking band?
Yeah, but but who wants to fucking do that? I just want to play. I just want to be like the karaoke. I'll be the singer. Somebody else can play the fucking little.
Well, even when you're across the nation too.
Exactly. Like, you can play with I can sing karaoke with my military buddies. You know what I'm saying? I think it would be fucking great. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know. I just see that. I see all of this as I'll tell you what. The other positive thing, John. I'll end this rant on a positive note. I did see that thing you sent where Microsoft does have a working relationship with Sony. I did like seeing that. I don't see that going anywhere though. Sony,
I don't see it going anywhere either. Because remember,
Sony is a cocksuck of a corporation, and now Microsoft owns everything. In the gaming community, fucking Disney owns everything in entertainment.
We can't forget the fact that Call of Duty has had a working relationship for Sony PlayStation for a long time. They host the esports events. They host, they are in charge of all the Call of Duty stuff. So how does that shift now? I mean, we're in crossplay. We should be having crossplay esports games anyway.
E3 isn't even happening this year. Come on, man.
Not confirmed, but it looks like E3 is probably.
That's what I'm saying. Dude.
You're hearing it here first. E3's fucking canceled.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, dude. That's exactly why I don't like the move, because these fucking corporations don't care.
Well, two of your mains already pulled out.
Say again.
Two of your mains already pulled out of E3. You already had Nintendo pull out, and you already had Sony pull out. So
correct. So why would you even? Yeah, it's that's my whole point. Is these companies don't care anymore. The bottom line is the fucking is the dollar. And they don't fucking care. So they're just gonna keep fucking shoveling shit out and see and throwing it to the wall and seeing what sticks. But in the meantime, the gaming community is just getting shoveled, their faces shoveled with shit, and it sucks. I feel like fucking Stan on that episode of South Park when he turns 10, and everything turns to shit. You know what I mean? It's like, like I hate to sound so goddamn bitter and cynical on today's episode, especially because our guest made me feel so fucking like peaceful and like blissful with like imaginary dreams of like the Nirvana, the Buddhist style like Nirvana like healing method of like fucking just like traveling and wandering the earth, man. Like that made me feel good. And Russia and fucking Microsoft make me feel bad. They make me feel bad. And I'm just sorry. I'm sorry. I feel so cynical and jaded right now. Like,
I'm proud of you though. You haven't said fuck a country in a couple episodes.
You know what? Because I realized in those earlier episodes, we had that whole shtick where I would, at least once an episode, I would say fuck Russia or fuck China, whatever. I realized
not the people, they're
and not the people, right? And that's right. And it went from fuck Russia and fuck China to, but not the people, the governments. And then that's kind of where I've carried it to, like, if I have to clarify what I'm saying, I probably just shouldn't say it in the first place, right?
Do you want to talk about that T-shirt design I made, and when I accidentally put that model with the CCP tattoo on it? Do you remember that T-shirt design?
Yeah, vaguely, yeah. And what did I say? Well,
it's gone. The picture's gone, but
right.
the T-shirt design said DD214 for the people, not their governments. And we had like a really interesting conversation how it seemed a little too radical. And then you said to me, John, why the fuck does that guy have a Russia tattoo on his arm? He has a Soviet era tattoo on his arm. I'm like, yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, that's like, and this is one of those things where we don't get overly political on this show, for reasons, and we want to be inclusive to the entire gaming community. We are definitely veteran centric, but we are not veteran only, obviously. So we expect there to be a wide variety of political views within our community, and that's fine. That is totally fine. But we have to be careful how we represent ourselves, especially in a public setting, being a podcast. We do have to be careful because we don't want to come off as supporting X or Y or Z over what ultimately we do support, which is the gaming community and veterans, specifically veterans within the gaming community. All right. So if, it's one of those things where you just got to be careful. You just got to be careful how you market yourself. I mean, I'm a fucking 40-year-old fucking edgelord that dresses in fucking black and wears fucking sunglasses in a fucking basement. Right. So if you care that much, obviously, about what we're saying, I guess good for you. But I also at the same time don't want to we don't as a community want to put ourselves out there that we, don't include people that should definitely be here with us and among us. So just saying, like, you can't take over the world by fucking excluding people. You know what I'm saying? Right. So just throwing it out there.
Yeah, man. So before we get to our sponsors and affiliates, I just have a question. In the statement real quick, Jason. I want to say thank you for coming. It's really cool to have you on the show. One theme that we've had on our show is that a lot of our guests have been our friends. And I guess it's safe to say that we just made another one on our show because we learned so much about you. And especially since, you just came into our group just a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
And one question I have is, how did you find us? Because that's been one question, because during the time that you came in, there's been an overabundance of people that have been coming in. And all of you guys have been active. So I've been kind of curious to know, how did you find us?
So I'm not going to name names, but I had a bad experience with another veteran community.
Okay.
And I missed some of the aspects of that community. Like, it was fellow veterans, fellow like-minded people. So I just happened to put in the search bar on Facebook, DD214, because usually there's a lot of groups out there for veterans that'll pop it up there, like DD214. And I found the content page first, looked at a few videos. I was like, okay, these are like-minded guys, and then I saw that there was a group, clicked on that, joined the group.
That's pretty cool.
And then you interacted by sending us a picture of your rig.
Oh, bro, that was I saw that post and I was like, well, fuck it, I'll send a picture of my my whole setup.
Yeah, and because of that, you became a guest on our show. Like, that's fucking badass, dude. That is fucking badass, dude.
Yeah, I did say that, thank you for the activity. Thank you for bringing in those that you brought in. It's
Absolutely.
really cool because, this is a whole different world that we've never dove into before. And it's so awesome to learn about that culture.
Well, what's funny is most of the people I brought in, we were all in the same veterans group, and we all experienced the same problem. It was very toxic, and we were in a group chat, and I told these guys, I wouldn't invite you to a group unless I checked it out first and it was legit. And they definitely followed me. They know that my judgment is somewhat decent.
Well, and
somewhat decent.
Exactly, and that is exactly what we are trying to avoid is that toxic fucking bullshit. And that's where, like, we start first as a community. We're not here to fucking, we're already a tribal community to begin with. We don't need to like further divide ourselves by fucking, who we fucking voted for at the polls, whether or not we fucking own fucking 15 fucking AR fucking weapons, or whether we fucking voted libertarian fucking radical fucking left. Who the fuck cares? Like,
right.
The point is we're already a fucking tribe. We were a fucking tribe when we wore the uniform. We're a fucking tribe after we get out. There was a man. Me and my old lady had a date night last night, and there was a man, an old man, like Vietnam era man, at one of the establishments that we went to, and he had typical like Navy veteran. He had the fucking his hat on, but the ship that he had on, I happened to fucking know the name of the ship, but it had a really cool name anyways. And so I bought the dude a drink, and because it's like that was a badass ship, and I got to fucking the dude, like, he was a Vietnam veteran from that era on a Navy ship that has it had a very fair share of its own history, basically. And so it's that's the idea, is that no matter how far we go in life, like that part of our life, we will never gets taken away. And so we carry that part of our life with us for the rest of our lives. Why would we move away from each other when we should be moving towards each other and
right.
sharing the same fobs and foxholes, and in the long cold dark of night, coming together to assist each other like we did while we fucking served. Because otherwise, what the fuck was the point? What the fuck was the point if we don't do that for the rest of our lives? We already learned the discipline. We already fucking have our trades. If we are not helping each other and staying a community and burying hatchets where fucking like hatchets never had to be raised in the first place, we are doing ourselves a great disservice. So sorry for another rant. My bad.
No, that was a beautiful rant. And now, guys, remember, it's Sunday. So it is your last opportunity to eat ass tonight, and then have another cup of Rogue Energy for your PT session in the morning, and that nice drizzly cold if you're in the East Coast.
Jason is going to drive from 5 miles outside of Lafayette, Louisiana to Carlsbad, New Mexico in one fucking shot. And it's going to be because of Rogue fucking Energy.
There you go.
When you need to stay up for 36 hours straight and fucking pull security on a fucking bed of darkness when your fucking batteries and your nods went out, you need fucking Rogue. Okay?
And what's that code, Jay? What's that code for 10% off?
DD214 Gaming. You will fucking hear colors and see sounds. It's going to be fucking amazing, kids. Take all you can. 300 milligrams of caffeine a shot. I dare your heart to try it.
Absolutely. And also, we have a new affiliate in the family now. I don't think we have a caption for it yet, but guys, Kempo Tech, computer building and repairs. Check out Vanderlinder ITI64 at gmail.com. We're going to have a graphic for that soon, but if you need your computer fixed or you want a computer built, talk to Kempo Tech. And if you guys don't know who Kempo Tech is, that's our famous hacker who
you just outed him. John.
His name is Kempo Tech.
You're from fucking New Jersey. You're not supposed to. John, we're gonna have to talk after this.
You stupid.
John.
Who said that?
You stupid.
All right. Who's next?
All right. Hey, don't forget, if you need your CBD Delta 8 needs, if you want toothpaste, cream, fucking gummies, flour, rose blunts, whatever you need, make sure you guys check out blazeonlinenewjersey.com. Alex and Johnny, we miss you, man. Also the www.linktree.com/dd214gaming. You can see all our fucking links there. Make sure you guys click on that YouTube, hit like and subscribe, leave a comment, tell us how shitty we're doing. Also, go on anchor.com/dd214gaming so you can leave us a voicemail. But next week, you can actually call in next week, and we will have a number for you so that you guys could call in.
Did you
Spotify.
Do Paleo Giant?
We're gonna do Giant. Paleo Giant is next. My
bad. Go ahead,
John.
No,
you good. The paleogiant.com. Make sure you check them out for all your paleo needs. We just had a really cool talk with the Paleo Giant. He's going to have a really awesome cooking session for you guys very soon. Get ready for that. Do we have anything next?
We're going into Spotify and all that shit.
Oh, yeah. So make sure you Spotify. We have polls on there. We have questions on there. Guys, sometime soon we're going to be Spotify exclusive, so make sure you check out those videos. The videos are already there on Spotify. Hit like and subscribe. We see the numbers. We see what city you're listening in. We know who you are. We know who our friends are, and we know who our enemies are. And I know that you guys are listening. I know who the enemies are, and yes, I'm looking right at you in the eye because I see your cities being listed on the podcast.
Yeah.
So we know you hate us, but it's okay.
Keep listening. Keep giving us some listens. I appreciate
But it's okay because you still listening because you just want this.
Taking up that free space. Taking up all that free space in your fucking mind.
Yeah, and
Taking
also
all that free space in your mind.
Thank you, Joe. So the very last thing that I have here, we're making some changes to the roundtable because we're having some issues looking for some mechanics. They're not easy to find, apparently. So our first episode of the roundtable, you guessed it, infantry leads the way. It will be the 11 Bang Bang leading the way in the first episode of roundtable. We have casting calls. Right now, we are looking for 3 highly motivated individuals right now to be a part of that. So contact us today and check that out. Jason, would you feel comfortable taking the final thought for today?
I don't think he knows what that is.
I don't know what that is.
So the final thought, we promote the Suicide National Hotline, the 22 a day.
I'll take it. You're good.
Yeah.
Cool.
You got to let the guests know before you ask them.
I know. I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, Joe. I blame Joe. I blame our fucking producer for not warning the guest. Like, hey Joe, you're fucking fired, dude. You're fired.
Fire me, bitch.
I love you, bro. I love you. Thank you. All right, check it out. Hey, it's been a hell of a week. We talked about some heavy ass fucking shit today. All right. If life is getting too fucking heavy, don't be too proud. There's plenty of fucking people out there that'll fucking be happy to take a few pounds out of your rucksack and put it into theirs. All right. And help you fucking keep moving forward. If you need help, call somebody. All right. If you've been having a long night and you've been imbibing, maybe had a few too many of these. All right. Nothing ever good happens after midnight. All right. I know I sound like your old Sergeant Major, but it's the truth. Nothing good happens after midnight. Fucking call somebody. All right. 3 o'clock in the morning. Fucking call somebody. All right. If you're on the other end of that motherfucking line, NCOs, all right, I see you fucking out there, NCOs. Answer your motherfucking phones. Nobody calls you at fucking 3:30 in the morning that you haven't heard from in 2 years for no fucking reason. So answer your goddamn fucking phone. All right? Somebody's fucking reaching out. I don't give a fuck if you're being drunk dialed by your fucking homie from fucking high school that you haven't fucking talked to in years. Answer your motherfucking phones. This fucking cell phone culture is bullshit. I don't know when it became fucking socially acceptable to not answer your motherfucking phone. All right? Because it don't happen for no fucking reason. All right? So answer your goddamn phones. If you're having a bad night, just don't. Pick up the phone and call somebody. Okay? It could be a family member. It can be a friend. All right? It can be the National Suicide Hotline, which is 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-TALK. All right? You know, and if you're seeing something, if things are happening around you and you notice some things are changing, if someone's reaching out to you, all right, help talk them down. Help guide them in the right direction. All right? One is fucking too many. All right? And as many as we're seeing in the last few years is a horrid fucking amount of it. All right? Someone out there fucking cares. So take the time. Don't listen to the bullshit in your head. Talk to somebody about it. All right? People depend on you. Your future self will thank you. That's all I got.
And guys, see you next week. Thank you so much. And make sure you check us out for next week for breaking news when Microsoft buys the world. See you guys. See you guys next time.
Go Chiefs.
Chiefs.